like football, business moves fast. And when you need funding, there's no time to wait. At Fleximize, we keep things simple. No penalties, no red cards, just fast, flexible business loans. We only ask for the essentials and you'll get a decision within 24 hours. Once approved, the funds are in your account the same day. Fleximize, let's fund your goals.
Town fans, hello and welcome back to Matchday Live, streaming on X, YouTube, Facebook and Town TV, proudly brought to you as always by our headline digital partner Fleximize, the UK's award-winning lender offering fast, flexible business loans. Well, Merry Christmas, Town fans, it's Boxing Day football, and Ipswich are on the road this afternoon making the trip to the Den to take on Millwall, with less than an hour to go until kick-off. Fresh on the back of a 3-1 win over Sheffield Wednesday, Town will be keen to keep the momentum going with another 3 points during this busy run of festive fixtures. Coming up on today's show, we'll bring you the highlights from Town's recent win, rewind to the last time Town faced the Lions, and our On This Day rewind from 2014 is a good one to keep an eye on. Plus a bit of seasonal fun. Leaf goes head-to-head with their skipper in the Christmas quiz. As always, we want to hear from you wherever you're watching. Share your thoughts and predictions in the live chat or use the hashtag TownTV for the chance to be featured on today's show. So welcome Town fans to the Town TV studio here at Portman Road. Ipswich Town making their relatively short trip to East London as they face Millwall at the Den in today's Boxing Day fixture. As always, we're joined by a couple of great Ipswich Town guests. Former club captain Carlos Edwards joins us in the studio, and former Town striker Alan Lee back for more Town TV action. We'll start with you, Carlos, because an interesting one for you today, having represented both clubs. You played for Millwall. You've obviously had a good career with Ipswich Town, and you're in that unique position having played for both clubs. Welcome to Town TV.
Yeah. Season greetings to everyone. It was a very interesting change, leaving Ipswich and going to Millwall. A lot of people obviously ask the question, bloody hell, Millwall, obviously at the time, I needed to play more games. It was coming closer to the end of my career kind of way, and I just wanted to continue playing regular football. But I went there and spent 2 really good years there. Club totally different from Ipswich in many ways, but at the same time I did enjoy my football when I went there.
A bit of a change in pace from Portman Road to the Den.
100%.
Alan, you'll have played at Millwall a fair few times over your career. It's a lively ground, isn't it? It's an interesting atmosphere, and one I think probably players enjoy, but maybe don't mind leaving at the end of the day after some raucous atmospheres.
I suppose, certainly it was a hostile ground, but there was plenty of those around back in the day. I always thought it was interesting going. I felt more menacing driving in there. For some reason, driving in there, you seem to be in kind of a rundown area in London, and there was definitely a sense of danger about it. But I never got in any trouble.
There's this group of Millwall fans. I've been to watch Ipswich play at Millwall a few times, and there's a group of Millwall fans that always sits opposite the away section. I don't think they watch any of the match. They just stare at the away fans, goading all game long. It's all part of the fun and games of playing. Is it a different ground to play at? Do you sort of feel that as a player? Do you feel that atmosphere, do you think?
Things like that, it's... For me as a player, I'd be wanting to wind up the opposition fans. If they were on my case, I was doing my job. So I suppose I'd relish a bit of that. And I think I was pretty good at winding up the opposition fans. So I got hostilities everywhere.
Great stuff. We'll hear more about your experiences of playing for Millwall as the show goes on. Let's start by taking a look back at Ipswich Town's last match, which of course was a home win against Sheffield Wednesday just before Christmas. 3-1 was the score. Let's watch back the highlights now.
Matchday couldn't quite poke it through to the Swede. Here's Philogene on the left side, swinging in a ball towards Hurst, who rises. Now it's O'Shea is caught and lowers into the penalty area here, stood up by Walton, and Kipre is behind his goalkeeper, clearing away from inside his 6-yard box. And Kipre really sprints back, blocks it off the line, flies into the back of the net, and Ipswich stop themselves from going one down. He's got Kiyusta ahead of him, Adon ahead of him as well. Nunez into Kiyusta, inside the box, and it's saved by Charles. It might drop for Nunez coming in, who heads wide. Bannon. Maxlow's giving it away to Kiyusta, who tries to burst away from the challenge of his compatriot, and now Kiyusta into Adon. Adon inside the penalty area, left foot, drops from Philogene. Philogene acrobatic off the post. It would have been a screamer. Danger not yet clear. Waller Egley pokes it against Damas. Cannot believe he's been denied by the woodwork as the corner comes in towards Kipray, who isn't to be denied by the woodwork. Puffing and puffing here as Bannon lifts that one in towards Kadamateri. Again, Ipswich deal with it, and now Ipswich might be able to break away. Kiyusta spins away from Bannon, plays it forward towards Nunez. Nunez has options up with him. It's Philogene, it's inside the box, it's 2-0! Ruthless on the counter from Ipswich Town. It's not as comfortable as they would have hoped. Bannon. Matasiwa intercepts. And now looks to release Jack Clark. It's a great ball from Matasiwa. Clark approaching the penalty area. Clark into the box now, trying to take it beyond Otegbeo, and surely wrapping up the points for Ipswich Town.
An early Christmas present for Town fans. Ipswich Town 3, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Let's pick it apart, guys. Some standout performances. You were particularly impressed by Matasiwa. Good goal by Jaden Philogene as well. Talk to us about the game and what impressed you about Town.
In general, obviously, fair play to Sheffield Wednesday. They came and they played. They took risks, got a few chances, but obviously we defended well. And I think we ourselves made problems for ourselves by giving them the opportunities that they got. But for me, in general, it was a all-round good game. I think we could have played a bit quicker sometimes, in certain areas of the pitch. And, we took the goals really well. But for me, in general, obviously, Matasuwa was the man of the match for me. He's been a pillar in that squad this season so far, and I hope that it continues.
Yeah, he has been a really, really enjoyable player to watch and an important part of Kieran McKenna's team, as has Cedric Kipray. The early clearance, which kept the scores at 0-0, then went up the other end and scored an absolute thunder header to make it 1-0 for us. Have you been impressed by Cedric Kipray, what you've seen of him so far?
Yeah, I suppose it doesn't feel like we've hit top gear this season yet, but we find ourselves in third. It's a really good position to be in, and I feel now it looks like we maybe have a settled back four, back five with the keeper. And that helps. I think centre halves, definitely two centre halves, if they're fit, need to play every game, and you get, that's a partnership that's very important, and it seems to be working well for us.
Kieran McKenna has sort of spoken about learning lessons from each and every match, and football's a funny old game, isn't it? Because you can start a match slowly, and if things don't go your way in those early stages, it can dictate the tone of the match. Equally, like what happened against Sheffield Wednesday, which didn't concede early on and then went on to control the game. It's all about managing periods of the game, and if you are under pressure, not to concede, I think is important, because it's when they've gone behind this season, it's changed the tone of games.
Yeah, it's always important. For me, the first 20, 25 minutes of a game is very important, not to concede, but at the same time, you want to get your foothold into the game and try and control as much as you can. Saying that, obviously teams wouldn't just give you that opportunity all the time to have your way. And that's why I'm going back to Sheffield Wednesday. They came at us, even though they had nothing to lose, but you could see that they were confident in doing everything that they do and going forward. So, as you rightly said, you just have to manage how you play the game.
Let's take a look back again at Ipswich Town's goals, starting with Cedric Kipray, assisted by Leif Davis from the corner, which we like to see, don't we? I mean, Leif is brilliant at getting a ball in the box, and Cedric Kipray with the header. We've spoken about it already, but it's a brilliant goal.
Yeah, if I'm daydreaming and remembering my career and the happy moments, and if I had an opportunity to go back, it would be scoring a bullet header. To go 1-0, that feeling is just amazing, and
hold on to that thought, because we're going to reminisce onto that later in the show. Stay tuned. Alan Lee getting nostalgic.
Fantastic second goal, this goal on the break, and really good finish.
Yeah, I mean, Jaden Philogene had bags of space down that left wing. I think that says a lot about how Ipswich create that space going forward, a lightning fast counter-attack.
Yeah, you know, you look at it, it's 4v2, and as the centre-backs...
Silky footwork.
Yeah, it's very silky from Tuesday, obviously. But you have the two centre-backs are absolutely buzzardy in terms of who can I go to close the space down. And fair play to them, the danger is in the middle of the goal. So their instinct is to defend that, 18 yards, 6 yards. But what a ball from Nunes to Philogene, and obviously good finish.
Such a confident finish from Jayden. And then Town wrapping it up. Actually, it was a little bit nervier towards the end of the game than we perhaps would have liked. But look at that pace from Jack Clark. I think it's his 7th goal of the season, one behind Jayden Philogene. Those two are proving to be which is really sort of dangerous players.
Yeah, I've been looking at, Philogene, eight league goals, Jack Clark, 7 league goals. And that's a very good return for wide players who aren't starting every game. If one of those could get to 20 for the end of the season, it would be some achievement. But just look at Jack Clark, and I suppose last year he'd have just lost possession there. Things weren't going for him. Now he's in the goals, he's positive, he's running at people, and he's getting his rewards.
He's obviously not going to want to be a super sub by any stretch of the imagination, but he has proven to be that role so far this season, and he's making an impact off the bench, which it's important to have players who make an impact on the bench. You just don't want to be too regularly on the bench as a player, of course.
No, I guess football's changed a little bit, maybe from our day where you'd be more expected to play and play and play. Clubs hold bigger squads. I'm sure there's less wear and tear off the back of that. I think we'd probably be, you'd probably be frustrated with it. But
I would.
Yeah. There's 3 games coming up in 6 days, so I think everyone involved today has a chance of starting over the period.
Well, and yeah, you mentioned it, how busy this festive period is. We've got Coventry on the 29th, and of course, a game a couple of days later on New Year's Day, and then of course again on the 4th. You can see why Kieran McKenna is using his whole squad, can't you? Because it is just such a busy period.
Yeah, you need fresh legs, obviously, because of not just playing on the day, but obviously the travelling, because we got 2 away games, over this period. So it's always going to take toll in certain aspects. So having a big squad sometimes pays dividend, and sometimes it's a pain in the backside. But at the same time, everyone needs to be ready to, put their foot forward when called upon. And, as Al said, me personally as a player, I want to play every game, but your legs and your head would say, yeah, but your legs sometimes would just say, you know what, let someone else step in.
I guess as a player, you're always feeling, you might even feel that your body needs a rest, but you don't want, you're competing against other people for position. Exactly. You don't want to someone come in and score a hat-trick and then you're out.
Yeah.
And, so there's always that in the back of your mind.
Yeah. And just finally, before we move on, it was a good win, 3-1. Okay, listen, Sheffield Wednesday have had their fair share of problems. It's a game it's expected to win, but is that set us up confidently for today? Do we go into the game against Millwall now with an extra spring in our step? Always after a win, you're going to feel good, aren't you?
Everyone's dangerous in this championship. Everyone is dangerous always, and you'd think Sheffield Wednesday wouldn't have the stomach for a fight considering the situation they're in, but that no expectation brings out things in you. There's a lot of expectations on us, a lot of for us to go up automatically. And again, going back, I suppose there has been a feeling we've not really hit the top level of our performance just yet. So all those things considered, being third in the league is very good actually, and we're in a really strong position.
Yeah, we certainly do. Right, let's keep the festive vibes going. Town TV presenter James Kirkland, otherwise known as Curly, you'll affectionately know his nickname. Very straight hair for a nickname of Curly. We'll ask him about that another time. He has been with the Ipswich Town squad this week, and he set a festive quiz for Dara O'Shea and Leif Davis. We put them up against each other. See how many of these you can get right, Town fans. Over to you, Curly.
Welcome to the Ipswich Town Christmas quiz featuring Dara O'Shea and Leif Davis. Are we feeling festive yet?
Very.
Yeah?
Well, yeah, I'm now with this jump around.
Look, absolutely brilliant. Right, it's very simple. Christmas questions. Whoever wins gets to keep their Christmas jumper. So, a lot at stake. Okay, question 1 is Christmas movies. What are the burglars in Home Alone known as? Write down your answers on your high-tech mobile phones, and we'll come to you for the answers. I'm going to come to you first, Leaf, what have you put?
Sticky Bandit. I know.
The Sticky Bandits.
The Wet
Oh, the
Bandits.
Wet
The
Bandits.
Wet Bandits. They did mention the Sticky Bandits though.
It's
at
because
some
he,
point,
you know, in
'cause
New
he
York.
puts his hand.
So,
Yours is too clever. When he was
That's
nicking
the
all the
second
money.
one, though, that
That
is.
is second. 1-0 to Dara. Okay, question 2. In Elf, who plays the main role of Buddy? I'm looking for the actor here.
Will.
Will Fee?
Will
Yeah,
Fee, yeah.
yeah, that's right. Will Ferrell. Yeah, 1 point each. I'm not going to knock you on spelling. Okay, the Grinch, who stole Christmas. What time is the Grinch set to have his dinner with himself, which he can't cancel again? Great film. You into your movies?
Yeah, now my son loves this,
So you should know the answer.
but I don't.
Okay. Leaf?
Couldn't tell you.
Loves it.
Okay, just
Actually-
have a guess at what time this could be. He's meant to have his dinner. Go on then, Leaf, what are you gone for?
5 p.m.
5 p.m. It's a little bit early for dinner for me.
I've gone for 3.
It's actually 6:30 p.m, so no score on that one. Right, moving on to round 2, it's the Christmas music round. Nice and simple. Who sang Last Christmas?
Couldn't tell you.
Have a guess. What songs are playing in your household, Leaf, over Christmas?
Christmas ones, but I don't know.
The Christmas playlist on Spotify.
I'm actually stumbling here.
Oh yeah?
Last Christmas.
Yeah. Is that I gave you my heart, but the very next day gave it away. This year. You know the song?
I do know the song, but I don't know who sang it.
Right, what have you put?
I think I know who sang it.
Go on then.
But I think I put the wrong name down.
Tell us.
I'll give you time because this is blank.
Mine don't know.
This is don't know who.
No, I know who it is. I
did
need
not
to- I need to change it.
Release any
Alright, I'm gonna scribble that
songs. Well, you can just tell me because he's not.
Wham? Is it?
Absolutely, it is Wham.
Bash.
Brilliant stuff. Curly with Dara O'Shea and Leif Davis. So much to pick apart from that. Good to see the lighter side of players. And I think Leif Davis is key in that dressing room as being one of the personalities. But also, how nice are those Christmas jumpers? I think they sold out pretty quickly. I would be. I mean, I've worn something a bit Christmassy today. I would love one of those Christmas jumpers. Would you sport one of those?
Of course, you know, it's the festive season, so why not have a nice, big Ipswich logo Christmas jumper on this time of the year.
And then also these big, thick, woolly jumpers, and then like the shortest of shorts. Footballers are always wearing shorts. Would you always wear your shorts when you're a footballer, Alan?
Yeah, like when you're around the training ground, you just want to be comfortable. So like no footballers train in shin guards ever. You know, we always have nice, thick white socks and a pair of moles rather than studs to train. Yeah, it's all about comfort.
Home comforts. Right, we're going to do a quick fire festive quiz with you two. No thinking, you just have to give the first answer that comes to your head, okay? Are we ready?
Let's go.
Well, some of these might catch you out as well. So your first answer. Home or away?
Wait.
Home.
Away! To be fair, he committed to his answer. Ipswich or Norwich?
Ipswich.
Switch.
Goodness for that. Especially you. Pigs in blankets or roast potatoes?
Pigs in blankets.
This is good. I'm enjoying this. Real tree or fake tree?
Real tree.
Similar answer. Giving or receiving?
Giving.
Presents, those.
Yeah.
Or on the pitch. Could be passing.
Giving.
Okay, we'll move on. Big Christmas or quiet one?
Big
Quiet
Christmas.
one.
You mentioned this earlier. You like a quiet Christmas, don't you? Yeah. In bed around 4 o'clock in the
Absolutely, yeah.
Super sub or starting 11?
Starting 11.
Both said that very quickly. Home game or away game on Christmas Day?
Home game.
Boxing Day?
Home game.
Both said home game. I love a home game on Christmas. But listen, the boys are away today, so we'll back them. Final one, Boxing Day football or Boxing Day leftovers?
Boxing Day football.
Boxing Day football.
Good fun. Thank you both for taking part in that. That was our impromptu Christmas Day quiz. Boxing Day quiz. I might have made a few of those up on the spot, by the way.
Yeah.
You both passed with flying colours. Right, let's take a look back to one of my favourite ever Boxing Day matches, actually. It was back in 2014 when Ipswich Town were temporarily top of the league after a 4-2 victory away to Brentford. Let's rewind back to 2014.
Poor clearance from him, headed forward by Bishop, nicely collected by Anderson. Ipswich Town on the attack, ball into the box to Murphy, left-footed. Oh, what a start for Ipswich Town! Daryl Murphy after 20. To Rome, Judge up to Gray, who can't get the better of Berra. Aaron Smith to Town on the break. Murphy trying to get the better of final defender in on goal for 2-0. Daryl Murphy round the goalkeeper. It's 2-0 to Ipswich. It was poorly as far as McGoldrick. Here come Town again. Tab on the left-hand side in a crossing position. Ball into the box towards Murphy, and it's in again, but not from Murphy. Anderson's involved. He's in there. He's taking the. He gets inside the box, wriggles away from a couple of players. Then to McGoldrick, back to goal. He turns and shoots, but it's smothered. Smith with a chance. Nice take. Oh, lovely goal! Brilliant skill from the centre half. He dropped his shoulder.
What a throwback that was. Ipswich Town 4-1 victory over Brentford back in 2014. That was a great victory. Do you remember that game? Do you guys remember watching Ipswich win that match?
I do. I just retired and I was youth team. I was working with the youth team at that stage. It was a fantastic season to be involved because no one really expected from us. So we just kept on going and going, and I believe we lost to Norwich in the semis, and we really. I remember being there at the away game, and we could have taken it to them. We really could have. So, but it was a great season.
Great season, wasn't it? Just a moment to reflect on what it's like as a footballer around the festive period, because when you work for a football club, you realise how busy it is. As a footballer, what's Christmas Day like? Because I mean, you're not stuffing your face full of, well, maybe you are. I don't know.
Well. It depends if you mysteriously find yourself injured or suspended over the Christmas period. But there's a serious point on. I'd have a bit of a roast dinner, but obviously you just can't go mad and do what I did yesterday, which is eat like a horse and then expect to run around the next day. But the away games are quite difficult because you leave on Christmas Day. If you're playing away in Boxing Day, you're probably getting to the ground at 4:00 and you've got the evening with your teammates.
So, as a footballer, Christmas Day is just another day at work, isn't it? Ultimately, every year, pretty much.
Basically, it's one of those mornings you wake up. You might wake up earlier than normal to go into training, do a bit of training for maybe an hour or so, and then have a little bit of grub with the teammates at the training ground, and then the manager, obviously in my time, the manager will allow you to go back home maybe for a couple of hours, sit with the family, maybe open presents if you got kids and stuff with the missus, and then obviously meet up later on in the evening to travel if you're playing away. So, but at the same time too, I played at clubs where you stayed in a hotel even on home games. So,
I suppose as a footballer, it's one of those things, isn't it? When the fixtures come out, you probably check, don't you? As a fan, I think we all do.
Yeah.
Because there is something special about Boxing Day football. It's a kind of a standalone event in a way.
Yeah, I guess it means more if you've got family, if you've got small kids. What you do on Christmas Day, really matter. If you're just a single man, it doesn't have as big of an effect.
Any particular games that stand out in either of your memories? There's one we'll come to in a minute, Alan, that I'm sure you'll probably look back on fondly. But are there particular Boxing Day fixtures? We'll start with you, Carlos, that stick out in your mind. Could be for Ipswich, could be for other teams.
Yeah, obviously not playing for the town, but obviously playing for other clubs. Obviously, Luton, I remember playing against Crystal Palace and actually scoring a double against Crystal Palace on Boxing Day. So I never scored a hat-trick, but 2 will do.
Those are the games you remember, aren't they? The games where you have an impact personally and the team wins. You're not going to remember your 2-3-0 defeats or whatever it is.
No, oh God, no, I don't even. Yeah, it's all positive.
Exactly.
The back catalogue's all positive.
Exactly. We do have a goal to bring you. We're going to rewind back to 2006. We've dug through the archives, and I guess you can tell who scored this one. It was you. We're going to watch it back. This, by the way, is an absolutely fantastic header. Watch this one back, Alan, and then we'll. So that's you there, involved, out wide, ball back in. Talk us through that, because that is serious technique, by the way.
Pure neck power, that is.
Was that Coventry away?
Looks like it, doesn't it? 2006, yeah, Coventry.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, I remember.
Just so many goals.
I know.
I was having a really good season. I think that was probably the peak of where I was in my career. Where I felt really fit. Goals in the bag. We had a really good team. Played nice football. Happy days.
And you remember earlier you were sort of reflecting back on towering headers and you're saying, throwing back to when I was a player. I mean, it wasn't a towering header. It was a I would say even more impressive than the towering head. The angle at his neck was there.
I was personally very impressed with my pace, strength, and close ball control before in the lead up.
And also, we were discussing with Town TV producer Jess Winlow the long hair, the luscious long hair. I mean, it's a good look.
Yeah, I'm afraid a little bit less of it now.
I wasn't going to say it.
But listen, I'm so lucky to have experience I had and have those moments. Like those moments you cannot replicate, you cannot buy them. I just classify myself as very fortunate. And I loved scoring headers. Again, I go back to it. I still, encourage my little boy to practice his crossing and finishing, and it's a great feeling getting on the end of a good cross.
Brilliant stuff. We haven't got a Boxing Day goal for you because, of course, we don't want to see any of Luton's goals. But we've tied it in quite nicely with Ipswich Town's previous opponent, Sheffield Wednesday. And this, actually, we're going to take a look back now at your first goal for Ipswich Town. This is the old Sunderland boys linking up. Grant Ledbetter finds Carlos Edwards midway through the opposition's half. Surely he's not going to shoot, is he? There's more curls on that strike than there are on your head.
Oh, yeah, trust me.
That is an absolute
But the
floater.
curls on my head, that was just a midlife crisis, going through a midlife crisis,
Carlos, is that you celebrating with the manager there?
No, that was Antonio, not the manager.
All right, I got it, yeah.
The opposition's manager.
that was the trainer, the first team trainer, obviously.
Well, Roy Keane was the manager in charge.
Roy
at
Keane
that
was the
point.
manager, but
many sideline hugs with Roy Keane back in your
no chance, no chance. He would just the ball. You could score the best goal ever, and he would just turn around and say, "Okay, yeah, fine." But deep down, he's proud of you because he always used to say in training, "Shoot." If you don't shoot, you don't have a chance.
We all remember that famous clip as well when Cristiano Ronaldo was playing alongside Roy Keane. He missed a sitter, and you can see Roy Keane really getting in his face. That's the kind of manager he was, wasn't he? Right, let's focus our attention now on today's opposition. Of course, it is Millwall versus Ipswich Town, and we'll start keeping those festive vibes going by reminding ourselves of the last time Ipswich Town travelled to the Den. Back in 2024, the season Ipswich promoted from the Championship to the Premier League, and it was a nice 4-0 win. Let's watch that back now.
Hello everyone, hopefully you've managed to reschedule the romantic dinners and the Valentine's plans. Welcome to South East London, welcome to the Den. In right now, in comes the free kick from the far side towards SA. Loose ball, drop for Leonard, and Kladke again makes the save. It would be a real Valentine's Day present, wouldn't it? And it comes from Davis on this near side. Ipswich can't take advantage of the corner gifted to them. Here's Hutchinson trying to work an angle on his left foot. It's flicked on and it's flicked in. And it's Nathan Broadhead. That spot where he can play every week and perform. Great ball. That's a great ball forward to find Broadhead in the left channel. He's got more supporting. Hutchinson there too, and it's an own goal. The final touch of Wes Harding trying to defend the front post area. Stuck out the right leg. He's got Burns moving ahead of him. Clark receives it back from Hutchinson, tries to get round the outside of Wallace. He's managed to keep it in play. It's headed back towards Moore, and Moore heads it into the ground and into the back of the net. It is such a contrast to this time last year. Mentioned it a few times, that goalless draw away at Bristol Rovers as Chaplin looks to set Al-Hamadi on his way. Al-Hamadi bursting forward, he's away from Leonard. Is this an opportunity when he goes down? And it is going to be a penalty kick. Al-Hamadi scores his first Ipswich goal, and that caps off a very, very pleasing evening in Bermondsey, in front of the away end. What a wonderful feeling that will be for the young man. Sam Barrett checks his watch. Valentine's victory for Ipswich Town. A great evening for the travelling supporters, and it's finished Millwall 0, Ipswich Town 4.
Millwall 0, Ipswich Town 4 back in 2024. Would love a similar scoreline today. Can we talk about that Nathan Broadhead goal first of all? The sort of backwards flick, the crossing from Amara. You reckon it was on purpose? I mean, it clearly was on purpose, but that's a real technique, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Sometimes though, there's with the right ball delivered into the box at the right pace, and you know that you just have to get any touch on it, and it's that close to the keeper that's going in. And I suppose there's no thought process other than I have to get something on it, and maybe that's easier sometimes than I think that's easier than having a choice or a decision to be made. So you see a lot of those goals come in.
Instinctive, wasn't it? Obviously, the own goal from Millwall as well. Kiefer Moore with one of those headers that just sort of stood still in time, didn't it? But found the back of the net.
It's always going to be difficult for keepers, much less defenders, to save it. Anything on the ground, he headed back down. It's hard for keepers, and it obviously bounced up. It's difficult.
I know what's happening there. As the cross is coming over, the keeper and the defenders are moving that way, and it's very hard to get back to a ball that's moving. That's very hard to change your body weight. So again, you see, it's a good coaching point for young players. Get it back to where it came from.
Interesting stuff. Listen, Carlos, we've spoken about it already on the show. You've played for both clubs. Very different atmospheres at the ground.
Yeah, Big Al touched on it earlier in terms of travelling towards the Millwall Stadium, going through, because when I was there, I live in Bromley, so I had to go through all the cracks and creases and stuff to get to the ground. And I could tell you, it's not the most pleasant, but playing wise, going at the Den playing, obviously you can be. It's one of those. Is either you want the fans staring at their away fans, or they want them to be staring at you. And definitely you want them staring at their away fans, because you have to perform, because it's so hostile. If you're not performing at the best where they are concerned, it's a horrible place to go to.
Yeah, the home fans can be quite tough on their own players.
Yeah.
I went and watched Millwall Brentford. I think it was 2019. I actually wore my Ipswich scarf. I got away with it because, of course, it's blue and white, and thankfully no one noticed. But I thought I'd represent.
Very brave.
It was brave, to be fair.
Very.
Or stupid, either way. It was 0-0, but the Millwall fans booed at full time.
Yeah.
I mean, tough atmosphere, and it can work against them as much as it can work
Of course,
for them.
if Ipswich really get into their faces and ruffle a few feathers early on, you will definitely see a big change. The Christmas festive period is just going to go right out the door in split second, and but that's what Ipswich needs to do today for that game. Just get the fans against them.
Good time to play Millwall. They've not won in 3. They've lost their 2 previous home games. This would obviously be a third loss for them if they were to lose today. Good time to play them.
It's hard to say. That's certainly an angle I think the manager will be using. I think that would be beneficial. Like anything, the start on days like today is really important. Those first 15 minutes when you're going to impose on your opposition. So if I'm playing Carlos, I want to make sure he knows he's got a tough job on his hands today. I'm going to run box to box, do whatever it takes. So the preparation, very important on days like today.
We talk about the Christmas festive period being a busy time for the first team. The under-21s were in action on Monday. They beat Charlton 3-0. Wes Burns getting 78 minutes under his belt. And listen, the under-21s is obviously great for the progression of the academy, but it's also good for some of the senior players, and great to see Wes Burns getting more minutes under his belt.
Yeah, I believe they're allowed to play 3 overage players.
Humphreys, Baggett, Button and Burns all playing.
Yeah. So, Wes Burns, I feel for him to be out for nearly a year, and with so much going on at the club and what an important player he's been previously, it's going to be really tough for him. He'll probably need another couple more games before seeing him start. But great to have him back. It'd be great to have another option.
As a senior player playing in under-21s, it can be risky as well, can't it? Millwall's keeper Lucas Jensen was injured playing for their under-21s. Wes Burns, I think, picked up a gash in his first match for the under-21s. It can be a bit risky for players, can't it? Because you've got young, hungry, enthusiastic players. As a senior player, you're going to sort of stay away from that sometimes.
I don't know. I always felt that once you stepped into the 20, I used to love playing the odd game, and I just felt that the players just didn't have the experience. It was nowhere near the intensity of a league match.
Could you outmuscle them a little bit as a more senior, stronger?
Yeah, because
mentally and
you'd play against centre halves who aren't used to the keeper kicking it into the opposition half. Just think little silly things like that, and they're very younger players, and it's very easy to use your body to block them. But the whole intensity isn't quite the same, and that's understandable. But you can't say, well, I can't risk a play. Wes Burns needs a few 90 minutes under his belt, and there's no way you're getting around that.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, let's continue our build-up by listening to the thoughts of Ipswich Town manager Kieran McKenna, who's been reflecting on the last time Ipswich Town travelled to the Den.
Yeah, I remember the game pretty well. It was a difficult start. Like, you can often have in games difficult periods. I think first 15 minutes we hardly made a pass, and we spent a lot of time defending set plays in our box. But we came through that spell and got the first goal, and then kicked on well. And you have to be able to do these things. So yeah, it's a different Millwall team now. Millwall team having a really strong season. That was a Millwall team that was struggling at the time. So it's, I think, in terms of tough places to go on Boxing Day, it's up there. So we have to be ready for the challenge ahead.
Ipswich Town manager Kieran McKenna reflecting on the challenge that Ipswich Town face today with their trip to the Den. Of course, kick-off against Millwall fast approaching. And on that subject, let's take a look at Ipswich Town's starting lineup as we make our way towards kick-off just under 25 minutes away. And there it is. Walton, Davis, Kipre, Matasiwa, Philogene, Kayusta, Furlong, McAteer, O'Shea, Adon and Nunez. Right, let's pick this apart. We'll start with you, Carlos. Adon starting up front. George Hurst injured out for a few weeks by the looks of things. A chance for Adon to impress?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he even when he doesn't start, when he is called upon, he looks like a player, something different from Hurst in terms of he can run, he likes to run, he likes to get the ball to feet, he can work the ball a bit. So, hopefully that, he's got that nod. Obviously he could get a couple goals for himself.
Casey McAteer starting on the right wing for Ipswich Town. We've seen glimpses from Casey McAteer, yet to get his first goal. I feel that first goal will give him bags of confidence, and there's clearly heaps of potential with Casey McAteer that we're still unlocking, and an exciting player for Town.
Yeah, he's still a young man. I feel from a bit in, if you come to a club like this, big price tag, pressure, expectations, your start's important, and getting that goal for a striker is just huge. So it'd be wonderful if we could get a brace today. Then we'll probably start to see the real him, and he'll be able to relax a bit and let his personality show on the pitch.
Nunez has been very involved in Ipswich Town in the sense of getting assists and goals, 8 goal involvements for him. I mean, listen, what a signing he's been. Norwich fans were quick to warn us that he might be injury prone. That's not been the case. He's just been brilliant since he arrived.
Yeah, I mean, you look at how he plays, his positioning on the pitch. He reads the games really good, and he goes into little pockets to pick the balls up, and he'd find those final passes. And as he's rightly said, it's no coincidence he's got so many assists this season, because he reads the game, and and that's a good thing. That's what you need, and you need someone to just pick that lock when it's needed.
And Jaden Philogene has been in sensational goal-scoring form this season. He's Ipswich Town's highest-scoring player, as you mentioned earlier. Alan, 8 goals for him. When he gets forward, he just gives you that feeling of excitement. He hit the inside of the post with a scorpion kick against Sheffield Wednesday, which we've barely mentioned. If that goes in, we just talk about it for weeks, and it's barely been mentioned. What a player he's been this season.
Yeah, listen, a really, really special talent, and listen, he's backing it up with the goals. Now, if I was playing centre forward with him, I'd probably be wound up. I'd want more crosses.
Yeah.
And then it would be down to me to get the goals. But while he's scoring, while he's top scorer, he's just got to keep doing that. And no one can say anything to him.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the subs bench, because there is one name of significant note on the bench today. Congratulations to Wes Burns for making his way back into the Matchday squad. Injured against Liverpool, an ACL injury nearly a year ago. It was, of course, in January 2025, earlier this year, that Wes Burns suffered that horrible injury. And he's worked so hard. We've documented the journey on Town TV, the rehab he's done in the gym, the matches he's played for the under-21s, and now to be back in the Matchday squad is a remarkable recovery from a very, very popular and talented player for Ipswich Town.
Yeah, I mean, I know what it takes to come from that kind of injury, you know, having that injury myself. And, you know, fair play, because it will have some days that you would literally don't want to do anything. But they always say one day missed is a step backwards. So fair play to him for continuing his rehab and progressing and pushing on, and he having the support that he had to get him back to being with the first team once again.
And a super strong bench once again for Ipswich Town. Palmer, obviously, arguably is a number one keeper. Well, not arguably, he is a number one keeper. I mean, Walton and Palmer, both very, very talented keepers. Wally Egley on the bench, as well as Jack Clark. There's goals on that bench, as well as defensive options, Alan.
Yeah, it's hard to predict what's going to happen over the next 3 games, of course. The manager will have different ideas in his mind. But as you said, we've got strength and depth now.
We certainly have. Let's take a look at today's opposition. It is, of course, Millwall, and giving us the full rundown is Town TV lead commentator Glenn Wheeler.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. Well, former Norwich City boss Alex Neil has made 3 changes to his Millwall 11 that started last Saturday's 2-0 defeat against Blackburn at Ewood Park, as the Lions aim to end a run of 3 games without a win. Caleb Taylor, Joe Bryan and Macaulay Langstaff all come into the lineup, whilst Danny McNamara, Zach Sturge and Tierno Ballo all drop to the bench. And the inclusion of Langstaff suggests that the home side may set up in a 4-4-2 formation, with 21-year-old Serbia international Mihajlo Ivanovic set to be the other strike partner. It is a rather depleted midfield area for Alex Neil to choose from at the moment, though, with 6 of his central midfielders, include the forming Town man Massimo Luongo, sidelined through injury. As a result, Billy Mitchell and Camille Negley will play in the middle of the park. Wes Harding is amongst the Millwall substitutes. He scored an own goal here the last time these two sides met, but top scorer Femi Aziz is not involved today, as he serves the second match of a 3-game suspension.
Thank you very much indeed. Listen, with these Boxing Day fixtures, arguably Millwall out of form, Ipswich in form, does form go out the window a little bit? Are they a bit of a standalone fixture in your opinion, or is it very much just another day at the office?
Well, it's going to be a proper bout, this one, isn't it, James? Just thinking back to the Valentine's trip here in 2024 and that 4-0 win. I remember Millwall started that first 20 minutes very brightly before Ipswich took control. And of course, it was that win that started that remarkable run that saw Ipswich promoted at the end of the season. So here's hoping, eh?
Here's hoping. Thank you very much indeed, our commentator Glenn Wheeler, giving us the rundown of today's opposition. And we'll, of course, hear full match commentary from Glenn in around just over 15 minutes' time, not too far from kick-off now. Let's hear from one of the Ipswich Town players. Yvonne Azon has been speaking to Town TV's Andy Warren.
Ivan, birthday on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day yesterday, but I'm sure your big focus has been Millwall on Boxing Day. How much are you looking forward to this?
Yeah, really different to play on these dates. I think it's the only league where we play, but honestly, I want to play just now. I had the birthday, I have a family here, so I will miss some of them, my girlfriend and some of my family, but it will be really nice.
Yeah, it's fun doing this, isn't it, on Christmas? It's something a bit different for players?
Well, I think for the people it's really fun. For players sometimes it's a bit difficult, to don't pass the whole Christmas with your family, but it's a different way to spend the time, and also playing these days, playing football is always nice.
What are you expecting for the game today?
It's gonna be a tough game for sure. Coming into this stadium, the whole week they have told me, and also this date that is a special date. I think it will be really tough.
Yeah, a noisy stadium, but there'll be noise from our fans as well. The full stand behind you there, full of Ipswich fans. That'll be great, won't it? A Christmas game with a full away end.
Always, I've always said that it's crazy having all the fans here. So yeah, thanks them for their support and hope we can take the victory.
Thank you, Ivan. Good luck.
Town striker Ivan Avon speaking to Town TV's Andy Warren there, ahead of Ipswich Town's kick-off to Millwall, which is just over 15 minutes away now. Final thoughts before we start to build up to the game. An open interview that from Ivan Avon, talking about the challenges of being a football on Christmas, which we've spoken about on the show today. But he leads the line for Ipswich, and he's our target man for today, Alan.
Yeah, he's got a job to do. I suppose I'm still working him out as a player. I think Carlos has seen more of him. And for me, if I was watching him, I want to know, is he really going to lead that line? Is he going to stay up there? Is he going to run in behind and be that threat? Because very often I see a lot of players playing number 9, and then when they're not getting the ball, they're dropping in deep, and it's just bringing people on top of us. So I think it's really important that he is the furthest man up the pitch and threatens to run in behind.
He's got a job to do today, as they all have. A tricky match. What do you think the score's going to be, Carlos? Obviously.
Me personally, I am looking, and I think we'll win 3-1.
3-1's your prediction? Yeah. Okay.
That's my prediction.
Back-to-back 3-1s. The prediction there from Carlos.
A clean sheet will do, 3-0. But I know what our defence is like. We get too comfortable at times, and then we give teams goals. So I'll say 3-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alan, thoughts?
I haven't had a correct prediction in the 35 years I've been involved in football, literally.
Maybe today's the day.
I'm just going 2-1 win to Ipswich.
All right, both predicting a victory for Ipswich Town today. 4-0 last when we played at the Den. Who knows? Hopefully it can be something similar again today. Thank you to everyone for joining in. A reminder that you can watch the match wherever you are internationally. You can tune in if you buy the match passes. And listen, of course, to Glenn Wheeler and to Ian Westlake, who are in the commentary box and primed to describe the action for you. Thanks very much to our digital partners, Flexmise. Thanks to everybody working behind the scenes. Curly will be back in the hot seat for our trip to Coventry in a few days' time. It's now all attention on Millwall versus Ipswich Town. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. It's bye for now.
Just like football, business moves fast. And when you need funding, there's no time to wait. At Fleximize, we keep things simple. No penalties, no red cards, just fast, flexible business loans. We only ask for the essentials and you'll get a decision within 24 hours. Once approved, the funds are in your account the same day. Fleximize, let's fund your goals.
When we started this, did we ever think we'd have a partnership with a football club? Absolutely not. This is beyond our wildest dreams. We pretty much exclusively hire graduates at Halo. We're very proud of our Suffolk roots. Halo's a pretty passionate, positive, enthusiastic place generally, but when you've also got what's going on at the football club, and it's just blending passion and enthusiasm.